Okay, so I can tell you that we have now. We're
Wait,
now.
wait, wait a second. I'm supposed to talk
All right,
first.
go ahead. You talk.
Or are you talking first? Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
All right, take my wife, please. You do have some funny stories. This is Jesse T, Mr. Soul from Your Home Soul Guaranteed. And I'm here with Tom Cotado. Now he's like a superstar. You don't even know this. Yeah, no, he is. He's a World War II veteran, and he's like a hero. Yeah, this guy developed sonar stuff to shoot the German submarines so that they would stop shooting our boys and the destroyers and help! I fell down, but I just can't get up. Wait a minute, that's something you developed too, wasn't it?
That was something I developed. My mother fell, couldn't get up, and I went back to Boston and so, tried to get something for her. There wasn't anything. My brother was kind of a wise guy. Said, "Well, you're an engineer. Go back and do something about it," which I did. Took a couple of weeks. It took 3.5 years though to get the FCC approval. And in the meantime, I sold some to the VA, saved some lives there. So all of a sudden, I'm getting big publicity and invited off to other places, other countries,
Right. Yeah.
down to Australia, and I got the FCC approval in 3 days there.
That's amazing. In
3
Australia.
years here, 3 days. And well, they love what we do up here. I mean, they love anybody that fights the establishment.
Right.
That's how they get started.
Yes.
And I came back to LA with a letter of credit for about $5 million worth of stuff. It changed my life.
What year was this? More or less.
Oh God, this was well, it was this People magazine article I have in here with Steve Martin. What's the date on that?
Let's see here. What's the date on that? That's
Like
wait a minute. You got
40. It's about 40 some years.
You got a 97-year-old guy that can't see, and you got a 61-year-old guy that can't see. You know.
By the way, it's an interesting article here about me in the People magazine. I was in with Steve Martin on the cover.
Yes.
And it's all about how great I am. It's coming up with this thing here, and it saves all our lives and all that. But Steve Martin calls me and says, "Hey, they did the same article, the article about you in the same issue. They made me look like a crazy guy, and you like a big hero."
Duh.
But I do want to get one from my mother.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. But you also have something new that you're doing. Hey, you know what we're thinking about doing? He's thinking about maybe selling his house out here in Dana Point. And so that's why I'm here. Actually, I'm here for the comic relief. Well, at least that's the kind of relief I'm using tonight. Last night, my relief was a whole lot different. But at least that's what she said. She was relieved to get rid of me. Yes, I'm sorry. Anyway, we'll talk more about the potential sale out here. It's a beautiful place, Dana Point, right by the ocean, the harbors, and
Great town.
good surfing, great town, safe, just absolutely gorgeous. But you also have a foundation that helps save children's eyesight. In fact,
and lives.
Because that propagates itself in when you can't see in bad eyesight, you can't do anything in life. So tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, well, the big problem is children in the preschool bracket, 1 to 5 years old, they have no idea what normal vision is. So they don't complain. And they don't complain, then the parent doesn't do anything about it until it's too late. That's what happened to me. And it's happening to millions of kids, tens of millions of kids worldwide. And we now have, though the big breakthrough we have now is a patented home vision test kit. I'm getting a patent on it now, and it's the first time ever parents can check the vision of their children at home, just like an ophthalmologist would do. They check one eye against the other eye, and they can tell in a matter of minutes that there's a problem. It costs them nothing. It's fun. It's free. And it's absolutely imperative that all kids, put through this like they do in Sweden.
Something that simple at home that you don't have to go to a doctor.
You don't go to a doctor. You just use this eye chart and an eye patch. Put a patch on one eye, then on the other eye, and tell us if there's a difference between the eyes. It's a problem. It could be it could be a deadly problem, because one of the things that causes that is eye cancer, tumors on the eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. and that's something that used to be kind of rare. It's more common now because we keep ignoring these things. They get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And 85% of the kids with that problem die. Overseas, they all die.
Yeah, because of the
random
cancer,
blood.
they can't repair it once it gets going and
Yep,
it
it goes
grabs
in
hold.
the brain through the optic.
But also the other aspect of this, if you can't see and you could have fixed the problem when you were younger and you didn't, and you can't see cancer and you don't get cancer, still, how do you get employed?
You don't.
How do you find a happy life? How do you drive a car? How do you eat well? How do you do anything?
Jesse, nobody now wants to hire anybody with bad vision. It's a liability.
Yeah.
Johns Hopkins did a big study of this. They found that amblyopes, people like me that have one eye and very little good vision in the other eye usually, create double the number of accidents on the highway and on the job. Double.
Wow.
And the other thing they had in that report was that amblyopes, people like me with one eye, only 29% of them are competitively employed, to use their language. The other 71% are going down the road to nowhere.
That's a lot of people.
Reward to the state or the county or the.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
And it's happening right here now in the U.S. of A. It's not happening in Sweden where they mandate vision screening.
So how do we get it? How do we get one of these kits?
Well, they can contact me. I'll get one to them some way because they have to go through. I have to go through sponsors who buy the kits and give them out free, and they can call me anytime, and I'll get a kit out to them one way or another.
Do you have a number?
Sure, 949-496-4720. 949-496-4720.
It's almost a crime if you don't get one of these kits and you have a little child, because as a parent, you know, you want your children to be healthy and safety and happy and have success in their life. So if you don't check on this, and nobody does, it's almost it's like abuse almost in a lot of ways.
It's like abuse. And you know, the terrible thing is that the kids that have a mild version of what I've got, mild, where they have, you know, one eye that doesn't work and the other eye is okay, will not get driver's licenses anymore.
No, you can't.
There are no driver's licenses. And how do you think that's going to affect the kids? How do you, the GDP of the country?
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Well, give me that number one more time.
949-496-4720.
Okay.
That's for me. I'm Tom.
That's Tom. I'm Jesse.
And Jesse, thank you very much for the opportunity to get the word out.
Absolutely. You know, I gotta tell you a story though.
Tell me.
So you know about my leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was really shy about my leg because, you know, I walked with a limp for a long time, but I got that solved. But you know, I lost an eye in the war, and so they had to replace my eye, and I didn't have enough money to get a beautiful eye like Sammy Davis Jr. had, or Peter Falk. They had that beautiful glass eye.
Yeah.
So my parents went to a wood carver from the indigenous tribe of wood carving nations, and he made this eye, and he put it in here, surgically put in there, and you can't tell. You see that eye, right? You can't tell. It's beautifully painted and everything, but you know it's made out of wood. And so, but as a teenager, I was in the war when I was a kid. As a teenager, I was very self-conscious about it. So my buddies finally got me in my 20s to go out to a dance because they wanted to set me up with a girl, and they would be perfect because she had a wood leg. She had her leg amputated, and she had a wood leg, and she was very self-conscientious about that. Very pretty girl. So we got into the dance. I see her. I finally get the courage. I walk over to her and I say, I said, Tom, you want to dance? And she looked up at me. She kind of got up and she looked up and she said, "Oh, would I? Would I? Would I? Would I? Would I?" Dun, dun, dun. The Jesse T Show. See ya. Oh, we're going to be selling his house soon. It's coming. Dana Point, you got to come here. Even if you got a would I, you got to come here.
It's pretty out here. Just
Look at this.
scan around here and see these are all NFTs. The lady
Look at those.
created it, died.
Yeah,
Beautiful stuff.
beautiful stuff. Yeah. Forever.
We're giving it away free to people who make a donation.
There we go. All right.
Can't beat that.
Talk to you later. See ya. Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Tom.